Welcome to my channel, Ana Lana. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful cardigan with straight needles. It's very easy. You can try to do it in less than 5 days. Let's begin. For the materials, we will need yarn, medium size 4, about 600 grams, and needles number 9 is one number larger than what the yarn calls for, and also an optional number 7. Also, we just need a pin, a hair pin, and a crochet hook of 4.5 or 5 millimeters, and a tapestry needle. And we are going to start with the back. It's a rectangle. It comes below the hips, and the measurements are here in this chart. Okay, so we are going to start casting 88 points, and then we are going to start working on the elastic band. The elastic band is the usual. We are going to slip the first point and then knit 2 and purl 2. When I do the purl, I always try to pull it a little bit so it comes in a better shape. So again, knit 2 and purl 2. And we are going to continue doing that until we end up with about 2 inches or a little bit more, about 5 centimeters or 6. So I am already done with the elastic band and most of the back. So we end up with a little bit more than 2 inches and about 5.5 centimeters. So the design, the pattern of these 88 points is as follows. We are going to do 4 with the rise stitch style, and then I'm going to continue with 80 knit, and then the last 4 points is going to be again the rise stitch. So the rise stitch is as follows. We are going just to slip the first one, and then whenever I did a knit, now I'm doing a purl. So it's going to be the contrary of what I did before. And this is supposed to be a purl, but I do a knit. So instead of a knit, I'll do a purl. So that way I will do 4 of them, and then I will continue with 80 stitches in the knitting direction. And when I say in the knitting direction, it's basically the jersey style. So remember, 4 at the beginning, 4 at the end, and that will be our pattern for the back. It's very plain. It's going to be very easy to knit and very fast. Okay, so let's see how long this is right now. So I just did 62 centimeters, which is 24.5 inches. We are looking for about 66 centimeters. So I'll be knitting a few more rows. So this is basically the shape of the back. I'm going to add a few more lines on the shoulders so I get the U formation by the neck. And that way it's going to be more comfortable and it looks better. So let's continue. Okay, I got to the part that I need to start doing the lines over the shoulder. So I have 88 points. I'm going to put a marker in the number 32, and then I'm going to leave 24 in the center and another 32 on the other side. And that way we are going to just to continue knitting this part, and I'm going to start closing the middle part. Okay, so I am knitting and I got to the 32nd stitch. I'm going to remove the marker, and now I'm going to knit the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So the number 1, I'm going to take it over and pass it over the number 2 a little ring. So again, I'm going to do that. Knit, and the first little ring, I'm going to pass it over the next stitch. And that's the way that we are going to be closing these 24 points in the middle, in the center of the sweater, until I get to the marker again. So I already have 32 stitches knitted, 24 close in the center and another 32 on the side. So the 32s are the shoulders. I'm going to start working on the first shoulder, and I'm going to be knitting 3 rows. So the first one, we are going to start it. I'm going just to put the yarn at the back because the yarn is at the front, so I just put it at the back because I like these little bumps that they start forming. So I already finished one row, and now I'm going to continue with the second row that starts from the center. So I am going to be just knitting, and then I'm going to do the 4 stitches in the rise style. So just remember, we are just working on one shoulder at the time. Okay, so I already made 3 rows, and now we are going to be closing in the usual way, like we did the center. So I'm just going to be closing it, and it will be, we just pass the first one and then knit the second one, and then the first one we will go and slip it over the second stitch. So again, knit and then take the first one and pass it over, and like that. So I already did the closure for the one of the shoulders. So that way is going to start shaping like a U. Now I'm going just to cut the yarn. I'm going just to leave a long strand so I'll be able to use it. And now I'm going to continue with the other shoulder. So I'm going to take the strand and I'm going just to attach the yarn to the shoulder. I'm glad that it's in the wrong side, so it's not noticeable. Any kind of additions that we make when it's in the wrong side is very welcome. Okay, so I always use a little crochet hook, so I'll be able to pass it through and make a little knot there. All right, so I'm going just to continue knitting, actually purling. I will be doing the 32 stitches. And at the end of the row, I will be knitting the 4 stitches in the rise point. One knit, one purl, one knit, one purl. So to begin the front, we are going to be casting 44 points. And then we are going to be working on the elastic band. So the elastic band will be the same like the back. We are going to do 2 knitting, 2 purls, 2 knit, 2 purls. So I just finished the elastic band, and with my fingers, I have 3 fingers, which is around 2 inches or 5 centimeters, a little bit longer than that, but this is great. So now we are going to put a marker after 16 stitches. Then we count 12, that those are going to be for the braid, and then another 16. So that way we keep track. And now I'm going to start with the rise stitch, which is 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl. I noticed that this takes a little bit longer. You can do the sweater with just the purl all the way, and it will be much faster and it looks similar. But anyway, this is the way that I'm doing it. I got to the marker now, and I'm going to start just knitting. I'm going to start knitting 12 stitches because these are going to be the base for the braid. And then after the 12, I'm going just to continue doing the rise stitch. That will be 16 more. So I got here to the marker. So I'm getting here to the marker, and now I just finished the part, the 12 stitches for the braid, and I'm going to start doing, my apologies, it's the cat, she always thinks I'm talking to her. So I'm doing now the rise stitch, which is one purl, one knit, one purl, one knit. That will be for the 16 remainder stitches. Okay, I got here after 4 rows, so I'm going to start working on the braid. And again, the description for the braid is going to be, the description for the braid is going to be in the description box at the below. Now also I'm putting it at the top, a link where you can see the video explaining this braid. Okay, so we are going to put 3 stitches into the hairpin and put it at the back of the work. And now we are going to be knitting the next 3 stitches. And now those 3 stitches in the hairpin, we are putting them back into the needle. That way we can knit them. And here we go. 1, 2, and 3. And in this way we just did our first twist. And now we are going to continue and do the same thing. Take the first 3 and we are going to put them towards us. And we are going to be knitting the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then we are putting them back again into the needle and we are going to be knitting them. 1, 2, and 3. This way we are finishing with the second twist, which makes the braid. And that way we finish with the second twist of each braid. Now we are going to continue knitting 7 rows, and then on the 8th, that's when we will do the next twist. So again, the information is below. Now this is a summary of what we have done. This is the back, a rectangle, and now the front, in which we have 44 points, and then we have the braid. Those are 12 stitches, and on the sides we have 16 stitches made in a different pattern. Now we are going to start the reductions on the chest when it gets to the length of the bust, and then the reductions will be made until we get 32 stitches. Just ignore the 30 that I wrote there. It's 32. Okay, so we got to the point that we are going to start making the reductions. So it's going to be just reducing in just one side. I'm going to select what side will be, and the reductions will be done at the end of the row, and it's going to be every other row. So right now we have the last 2, and I'm going to be knitting them together at the very end of the row. And then I'm going to turn the work, and I'm going just to be knitting normal. So I'm going to be just doing the stitch that I selected, and now I'm going just to be putting the yarn, the strand behind, so that way I can start getting these bumps. I like that ending. And so we are going to continue knitting normally. We are going to be just putting the strand behind, and I just passed the first stitch, and then I'll do in a purl where it was a knit, and in it was a pearl. And as we continue, we can see already the reductions. Okay, so I just finished the front part and I'm going to put it face to face with the back. So I'm going to put the two right sides together facing each other, and I'm going to start joining by the shoulder the two pieces. Now, I did have to block the front part because just to trying to stretch it a little bit, because I didn't realize that when you use two different stitches, the size of the piece is going to be different, and the rise stitch is a little bit more dense. So that's the story. Okay, this is great. We are already putting the parts together. We are putting shoulder with shoulder. However, because the stitch is different, we are using the rise stitch, which is a little bit more dense. The front part tends to be a little bit narrower, but there is nothing to worry because we are going to go over the border, how you do a border in the part 2 of this tutorial, and that the border usually covers any irregularities in the sweater. So nothing to worry about when things don't match 100%. But in the meantime, we are just going to join these parts, and we'll do that for both fronts. But in general, if you use just the pearl, it will be much easier instead of doing the rise. That's my lesson after doing this sweater. Okay, so now I'm finishing with putting together this part. I do it using the wrong side. So now look how nice it looks in the front. So now, if you like what you see, so please give me a like and please subscribe. And I hope to see you in the second part of this tutorial in this channel, Ana Lana.